Very good morning, guys. I hope everybody is able to hear me and you are able to watch my screen. Yes. So now we are going to start the Blue Prism demo session today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So it means Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. These three are the sessions we are going to conduct, demo sessions. So that you will come to know what exactly we are going to talk and what is the agenda of our training course. Okay, so then you can go ahead to take a decision and we'll continue. So it's not actually the exact demo sessions. We'll be going ahead the classes only, so that you will come to know how we are going to teach and what are our methods we are going to follow. So during my training session, in case if you have any doubts, please enter on chat window. Yes, please enter on chat window. In case you don't need to record ready mark, we will send a recorded file. Don't worry. Don't worry. You don't need to record. We'll send a record file. No issue. So we are from RTL Technologies, myself Rashekar. And we are here to conduct the RPA training, and we are going to talk about the Blue Prism today. We are going to talk about Blue Prism today. We'll be discussing. Yes, during explanation, if you have any doubts, please enter in the chat window. Okay, please enter only doubts in the chat window. As we are in 39 members in the session right now. Okay, so during my explanation, if you have any doubts, please enter on the chat window, so that I can go ahead with the reply. Okay, fine. So we'll just talk about the robotic process automation. I hope you might have gone through the demo of our first one over the YouTube. Okay, so now we are going to start with the same process. It may take a couple of minutes to go through that PowerPoint presentation. After that, we will go for the Blue Prism. It is okay. Fine. So, what is basically automation? Automation is nothing but a sequence of steps which are performed without any human interference. So, whenever you are trying to do some sequence of steps without any human interference, that's called automation. So you may be automating some application, or you may be automating some work. At Sindra, this is the demo for Blue Prism. Yes. And Manikanda, you are not able to hear me. Please log out and log in. Others are able to hear. Okay. So during this session, in case if you face some network issues, don't worry. We are going to share you the video file. Please drop your phone number and email at any point of time in the chat window. Definitely we'll share it. Okay, fine. So automation is basically what is meant by automation. It's a sequence of steps which are performed without any human interference. Without any human interference, we are going to have some sequence of steps performed. So that's called automation. So what is meant by process? Process is nothing but a sequence of meaningful activities that make up a process. It may involve multiple system applications. So as a human, when we are going to work with the business applications, any software applications, we'll follow some sequence of meaningful activities. For example, we'll click the button and we'll open the application, and we'll enter some information, and we'll click the checkbox and we'll select radio buttons. Like that, we are going to do it, right? That's called process. For example, you are just trying to log into the Facebook and read your messages and try to post some information and just log out from the Facebook application. That's one of the process. Simple. I'm just explaining. Okay. So in every business enterprises, in every enterprise, there will be a process, definitely. Okay, sequence of meaningful activities. Whenever we want to automate that, we are going to define a script, or we are going to define a bot. We call it as a robotic. So robotic, what exactly it will do is, it will mimic like a human user, same way as a human does. Exactly like how user is going to click and navigate and how he is going to perform it. Same way the bot will do it. Robotic will do it. Okay, so robotic processing automation. And then if we look at this diagram, it's going to explain us how the process done manually. And if we look at here, we have three applications. One is Windows application. Another one is a mainframe application or DOS command prompt application. And then we have another one is a web application. So as we are hiring an employee like human workforce, they are going to work with these applications. Okay, they are going to work with these applications. They'll open the application and try to enter the data manually, whatever they would like to enter. That's called process done manually. The same work I would like to complete by using process done with RPA, robotic processing automation. I would like to do with RPA. So if we look at here, the same Windows application or mainframes application or web application. So these all three applications I am going to interact, okay, through the software robots, okay. So software robot we are going to build. We are going to build the software robots, okay. So these software robots are going to mimic like a human. The software robots are going to mimic like a human on the top of the application, okay. You can see here robotic process automation allows using software robots rather than the people to drive your business process, okay. So whenever we have implemented some business application and humans are working on top of that application and they are trying to execute some processes, that's a manual. Now I would like to automate that. Now I would like to go for automate it. Then we have a software robots here. So those bots are going to mimic like a human. Whatever human is going to do, that can be achieved through the software robots. That's called process done with RPA, robotic processing automation. Okay. And now if we look at here, the definition, as we have discussed, what is automation, right? Sequence of steps performed without human interactions. And what exactly the process, sequence of activities, meaningful activities. And what is robotic? It's like a mimicking a human, how you are going to do it. That's, we will call it as a bot in any RPA tools, in robotic processing tools. We don't call it as a robotic word, we'll call it as a bot. Actually, when we are working in the project, we call it as a bot. And now here is a book definition. As per the book, what exactly the RPA, robotic automation, refers to process automations where software drives existing enterprise application software. So where exactly the RPA projects will be started is very simple. Let me explain it. Let's say you have a client called Sony Electronics. The Sony Electronics company has implemented already some business application, .NET application they are already using as a front end, SQL server they are using as a back end. And this is already implemented, and now client is using the application. Client is using the application last 2 to 3 years, let's say last 2-3 years they are using. The application is stabilized, perfect, no problem, no errors. And when I say client, who is using? Client employees, we call it as a end users. We call them as a end users. Now, let's say client Sony company is having around 2,000 employees are using this application. As a RPA developer, what I want to suggest to Sony Electronics is, when you have 2,000 human workforce to complete your business process, my automation tools will make your workforce, human workforce will up to 1,500. I'm going to replace my bots. I'm going to replace my software bots on top of your application. Already you are using .NET application and server. Okay. So your employees are going to open the application and try to do navigation, right? This like to do, they are going to enter some business data. This all they are going to do it, right? So let's say, for example, rpachallenge.com website is one of the application, right? So what the employees will do, they'll just enter the phone numbers like this, and they are going to do this all work. I wanted to do it from my software bot. I don't want to use the human workforce for the repetitive works. Okay. So the exactly the project will be started. Okay. So RPA refers to process automations where software drives existing enterprise application software in the same way that a user does. User is nothing but an end user. User is nothing but an end user. Okay. So RPA is a tool or platform that operates other application software through the existing application's user interface. So what exactly RPA will do is, it is one of the tool or platform. It will operate another application. Your client might be using SAP application or Oracle applications or Microsoft products or IBM products. Whatever application your client is using, we are here to automate that application, and our RPA tools will behave like a human, and it will mimic all human actions. All human actions, it's going to mimic it. Okay, so that's called RPA as per the book definition. Okay, now if we look at here, what are the areas the RPA is going to be adopted in the industry, like banking and financial services, insurance companies, healthcare and pharma industry, manufacturing and retail industry, high tech and telecom, travel and logistics. So almost all the industries, RPA can be adopted. And which area it can be adapted exactly. For example, when we go for banking system, and in banking system, card activation is there, right? Credit card, debit card, health cards, insurance cards, this all card activation, there is a process. There is a lengthy process. If we wanted to activate the card by using the human workforce, it may take around 30 or 40 minutes. The same thing, my bots can be completed within 5 or 6 minutes. The entire process can be completed, and the work will be accurate, and 100% accuracy we will get it. And my bot can activate its 24/7. Okay. So in the place of human workforce, I'm going to use the digital workforce. I'm going to use the digital workforce. You might have seen some companies recently, they are going for it as digital workforce or digital transformation. This all nothing but comes under the automation. So this is the starting point for RPA, which has just entered into the market around 1.5 years back. So automation is not today, it was there right from 2005. But earlier, the tools, whatever we were using, not flexible. And we used to write our own code to do the automation. But now these tools are very compatible and very easy to automate any business applications. Okay. This is the survey conducted by the KPMG, one of the largest survey company in the world. What they say is that how the companies are investing in RPA to automate their business processes. Okay. So almost all the companies are ready to invest the money to automate their business applications. And also they wanted to use their human workforce for other activities. For dynamic decisions taking, they wanted to use the human actions. Okay. So now if we look at here, these are the tools we have, RPA tools. We have around 20 tools in the market, which are used to automate any business application. But what are the top three we will find here is UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere. These are the three tools. Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, UiPath, and WorkFusion. Okay. So we are going to teach Automation Anywhere and Blue Prism. This is the demo session for Blue Prism. We are going to talk about Blue Prism this. Okay. And Automation Anywhere also will be started after completion of the Blue Prism sessions. Okay. And in fact, we teach the UiPath also, but that's another person. I'm going to take care of these two: Automation Anywhere and Blue Prism. Okay. Yes, if anyone is not getting the voice, please log out and log in. If still not, we will share the video. Please drop your email ID. Please drop email ID and phone numbers. Thank you. Sai Amma, we are not talking about work fusion. Somebody is asking, why don't you start Automation Anywhere? Definitely, we are starting Automation Anywhere, but that you have to talk with the training coordinator. He will respond. Okay. We'll be discussing differences between these tools. Mithu Behra will be starting. Fine. Thank you. Let me continue the process. Now, if we look at here, Forrester survey, who has conducted the survey in 2017 first quarter, they are telling that who are the leaders in the RPA market. In the RPA market, who are the leaders? Automation Anywhere in the first place. That's the biggest market. And Blue Prism, then followed by UiPath. Next is third one is the UiPath. So these are the three, and we have some more like WorkFusion, Pega Systems, and Nice, and Edgeware Systems, Redwood Software, but those are not much up to the level. These three are very good. RPA sectors, what are the sectors can be used in the RPA? We can see almost all the biggest sectors can be used, like automobiles and government sector and banking sector, outsourcing, healthcare, retail industry, telecom industry, and insurance. All the industries can be utilized, and all the softwares, whoever is using the applications, we can automate. It may be a mainframes application. So here are some examples, the companies who has automated their business process. If you look at Virgin company, Virgin Trains, it's a transportation company in UK. What they have automated, email processing they have automated. After automation, they got 32 man hours reduced to 4 hours. Earlier 32 man hours they was to take, but the same work they are able to complete in 4 hours after they automate their email processing by using the automation tools. Okay. If we look at Barclays is one of the financial services company, largest financial services company in UK, and they have automated their back office process. They have automated their back office process. After automating their back office processes, they uses approximately 400 robots. Okay. So that's, yes, GN Rao, tell me. GN Rao, I'm not able to hear your voice. Fine, no problem. Please enter your doubt in the chat window. I'll just refer it later. Okay. So now we can see the automation is happening in the banking sector, healthcare sector, insurance, logistics, utilities, retail industry, these all places. Okay. So I've just gone through what are the things can be automated in the business right now. Now, Blue Prism. Now we have just entered into exactly our part. This is the Blue Prism application. Blue Prism is one of the automation tool. Okay. By using the Blue Prism automation tool, we can automate Java applications, Java-based applications, Windows applications, IBM mainframes applications, Windows apps, and web applications. So all the applications can be automated by using the Blue Prism. Blue Prism automates any application and supports for any platform. And it supports for any platform. It support for any platform here. It is. Right. Now you can see that Automation Anywhere partners and Blue Prism partners and UiPath partners, WorkFusion partners. I'll just go through the Blue Prism as this is a Blue Prism demo session. So let me just click on the Blue Prism link. Now we can see that who are the implementation partners for Blue Prism. Now this is the website for the Blue Prism. Now we can see who are the implementation partners for the Blue Prism. ENY is the gold delivery provider, and Accenture company is a Blue Prism certified, silver delivery provided. Avanda company, Deloitte, IBM, ISG, and Neops, Reveal Group, Symphony. These all are implementation partners. Capgemini, CTS, DigiBlue, Digital Workforce, like Entity Data, Genpact, HCL, HP Company, Exaware. These all are implementation partners who are implementing the Blue Prism for their clients. Blue Prism for their clients, they are going to implement. Okay, fine. Now, what are the types of automation we have? Robots, types of robots we have two. One is front office robots, another one is back office robots. We call it as a FOR. FOR stands for front office robots. BOR stands for back office robots. And back office robots run unattended. So whatever the back office work is there, like batch mode and virtual environment. Virtual environment is nothing but a Citrix environment, a VMware or cloud, like this. In virtual environment, it will be working. It not supervised by anyone. It will be automatically executing. The back office robots send heartbeats to the server so that it knows instantly when a robot is down. For example, we are going to develop a bot, nothing but a robot. And after developing, we are going to deploy in 10 systems or 20 systems. Okay, my bot is running in the 20 systems and it is doing some action. It is performing some process. During that process, maybe my bot has got struck. My bot has got struck. So that time, how you will come to know which bot is performing well and which bot has got struck. These all entire things we are going to see it from our server. We call it as a control room. We call it as a control room in automation. We'll talk about that later. So what exactly the FOR, front office robots? The front office robots share the same workstation with an employee who has control over where and when it is used. It will work like a human, what human is doing at the workstation. So generally when human comes to the office and he will just log into the system and he will open the application and he will enter some data. He'll open Excel sheet and enter the data, try to copy paste. These all are actions he is going to do it, right? The same work can be done by my software bot. My bot is going to do the same work what human is doing every day in the office on the top of the application. That's called FOR. So these are examples for automation anywhere. Now here is a differences between the automation tools. So it's up to the client decision which tool they want to use to automate their application. They can use either Blue Prism or UiPath or Automation Anywhere. All are RPA tools. As I told, around 20 tools we have, but top three is three. Top three automation tools are these three: Blue Prism, UiPath, and Automation Anywhere. Okay. So by using these tools, your client is going to automate their business applications, right? So here up to the client decision what tool they wanted to use based on the cost, based on the license or support, or based on the work which they have mainly. Okay. Automation Anywhere is major, which will support for front office robots and back office robots. So some clients will use Automation Anywhere for both the purpose. and UI path, which will support mainly for front office robots like application activities. Okay. And Blue Prism, it's mainly suit for back office robots. Okay. A Blue Prism advantage is it's got more security. It's got more security. The work will be in the workflow. The way it is going to perform, it will be on workflow. We can see what is happening in our automation and where exactly it's got struck up. In automation anywhere I cannot see. My bot will be running. It will just show the number, line number, so and so line there is a problem, or so and so line its bot got struck up some information. But in Blue Prism, everything is like designing, workflow design. We can see that practically what is happening in my bot, how the application is running. Okay. So that's the advantage. So by end of the day, the client decision, what tool they wanted to do, what tool they want to use to automate their applications. But banking sector, generally they choose the Blue Prism, which has got more security. Automation anywhere also is having the security, but compared to Blue Prism is not much. Okay. And if at all we want to learn a Blue Prism or automation anywhere tools, okay. So what are the prerequisites we required as a training attendancy audience? Like what are the prerequisites are required to learn the RPA? Like client server architecture, we must have the basic idea what is meant by client and what is meant by server, and we need to have the domain knowledge and financial, insurance, banking, any of this business flow. Like generally what happened when we go for an interview or when we go for any project, generally they will ask you what are the commands are there in the tools, and how will you use that commands. That is one side. When we say we are having experience in automation, the question comes, which project you have worked as an automation developer, and which process exactly you have automated. What was your requirement? Like what was the client requirement? Earlier, what happened, how they used to execute manually, and how you have automated. That's going to be the questions we'll be facing in the interviews. Okay, so we must have some basic business knowledge. Anyway, that I'll be explaining in the project. I'll be explaining the Blue Prism project and automation anywhere. Then you will be clear. And some people might have the doubt: do I need to write any code in the Blue Prism or any automation tools? Absolutely no. We don't need any tool to coding. Everything we can design it by using the tool. The tool will write the code internally, but we need to have some basic knowledge like what is if statement and what is loop. If statement is nothing but a conditional statement. Based on the condition, you are going to execute some commands. Either if the condition is true, execute some commands, otherwise other commands you are going to execute. And the loop is basically to execute multiple commands. Same command multiple times if you want to execute, will go for the loop. Okay, so that anyway we'll talk about that in our sessions. Detailed discussion will be talking. Now, what are the types of RPA jobs we have? We have two jobs mainly: RPA architect, a person who is going to interact with the client directly and try to understand which application they are using, which business application they are using. And this architect must have the around 3 to 4 years of experience only in automation. They must have around at least 10 to 15 years of experience in other business applications. What exactly the architect will do in the project is he will understand the client business application, which application, and he has to understand the application business process, which process they are going to use to do their business activities. And the architect job is he has to explain to the client what the things can be automated, what are the things cannot be automated, and provide the detailed project report, and also provide the return on investment report. So this is architect level. And this is what exactly what we are going to give the training, and what you guys are going to apply as RPA developer. If you are already having around 10 years of industry experience as application developer or tester, then you can go for the previous one, as I told, RPA architect. Because if you have a 10 years of experience in other applications, you might be knowing some the entire business process, how it looks like, and what are the problems we are facing. That if you are a new to the industry, or 2 to 3 years or 4 years of experience you have in IT, or you are just trying to enter into the IT market, so then this is what the job we are going to try: RPA developer. Okay, robotic processing automation developer. In RPA, generally two tools the people are expecting. One is Automation Anywhere, another one is a Blue Prism. These two tools. So if there is a project on the Automation Anywhere, yes, we are eligible. If there is a project on the Blue Prism, then we are eligible. So both the things we are eligible. Yes, Shankar, any certification required for RPA architect? Yes, exactly. If you are a certified developer, RPA developer in either Automation Anywhere and Blue Prism, obviously there will be a priority for you. When you are looking for an architect, definitely you should be a certified, because the clients directly is going to interact with the architect, right? Definitely it is required. For the people who wanted to go for a RPA developer, certification is optional. Okay. So certification will be done only implementation partners. Okay, I'll explain the entire process, how can be certified, okay, and what is the procedure and what syllabus you are going to face in the exam. I'll give you all. Difference between BP architect and BP developer. So architect means it's like, obviously they'll expect some more business experience, right? It's like almost project manager range, the way we speak or the way we talk about with them, different applications. That's where different comes. Okay. So developer is, as usual, they'll expect the subject and all. When we are going for architect, they'll ask us like, tell me which business processes you are discussed with the client, and then it will be done. Okay, Ratan Kumar, I'm looking for both Automation Anywhere and Blue Prism. Sure, we are going to provide both automation. Do it in telecom, where we can use the RPA. Yes, exactly. That's the place where we are going to use in telecommunications. Like when we want to go for whatever your employees, like when I say your employees, client employees are doing the day-to-day activities, can be done by the automation. Bharati Raja, what is the certification fees? Certification is online, which you have to pay $70 to the Blue Prism company, and you have to go over, right? Venkat, I'm not a techie and doesn't have the coding knowledge business. You are 100% suitable, Venkat. You are completely benefit. You can go ahead. It doesn't require any coding knowledge for this. Maybe some little bit like if statement and loops, that we are going to give a lot of exercises and discussing. It's not at all a problem. Okay. Yes, Indra. Yes. So I am in the IT industry right from 2002. It's almost 15 years, and RPA last 2.5 years. Last 2.5 years in RPA with 3 RPA automation tools. So one is Automation Anywhere, 2 is a Blue Prism, and the third one is a Open Spam. Yes, exactly, Durga. Thank you. Fine. So that's about RPA support or tester developer. Now we are in the correct place. Blue Prism is the tool which is used to automate the business applications. So Blue Prism is basically UK-based software company. It's a UK-based software company, and it is a leader in the emerging global technology, the category of RPA. Okay. The group supplies software robots that automate clerical back office processes. Clerical back office process, it will be used to automate and operate in similar fashion to humans. Blue Prism software robots are differentiated in the market as they have been designed to be deployed at scale and enterprise organizations. Okay, so here we can see the advantages of the Blue Prism compared to other tools, compared to other automation tools. So it creates and support a digital workforce for industrial strength, and it doesn't require artist skills to implement. Just now I was trying to explain to the Mr. Venkat. It doesn't require any IT skills to implement the Blue Prism. It can be implemented in sprint of 4 to 8 weeks, start to finish. So if there is any project, if there is any application, if your client wanted to automate by using the Blue Prism, we can go for start the Blue Prism application and automate the application. If it is a very simple project, we can automate between 4 to 8 weeks. Okay, and if it is a bit complex, then definitely it may take another 4 to 8 weeks. And after implementation, definitely support is required for the client. It doesn't mean that once we will configure, it will be working automatically. So keep on support is required. And also if the client is changing the application, if the client has changed the application, definitely we have to change the automation process. Okay. It is very low cost compared to the other tools. Like Blue Prism is very low cost. It provides tremendous payback with self-funded doing, like return on investments are more in the Blue Prism. It can be managed within IT infrastructure and as well as the processes. We can automate any business application by using Blue Prism. This. Now you can see here, Blue Prism lets business analysts and developers create a software robots using the business objects and process, then manage these robots. Okay. Now here is your application, your client application. Maybe your client is using some .NET application or some mainframe application or some web applications. Okay. By using as a RPA developer. So what we are doing is, as a RPA developer, we are going to develop the software robots. We are going to develop the software robots. In Blue Prism, software robots, we call it as a process. We call it as a process, which is a group of business object, which is a group of business object. One business object is nothing but one sub-process. One business object is nothing but one sub-process. When we group the business objects, it will become as a one process, or we call it as a one bot, or we call it as a one bot. One bot is equal to one human resource. One bot is equal to one human resource. For example, your client is using one application with 200 members, 200 human workforce is working. So what I'll discuss with the client is, I'm ready to automate your application. So you can reduce your human workforce and increase your productivity, and we can go for deploy our bots. Okay. So this process is nothing but a bot, and every process will have the business objects. In this application, one business object is running. In this application, another business object. In this application, another business object. It means at a time, my bot can execute multiple applications and it can get a result. So here we are, where we are here. We are here to develop this software robots. As a RPA developer, what is our job? We are going to use the RPA tools. Now we are talking about Blue Prism. We are going to use the Blue Prism tool. By using the Blue Prism tool, what we are developing? Software robots. We are developing the software robots. What your robot will do, what your bot will do, it will open the application automatically, and it will read the data and enter the data and perform the actions how the human does. How the human is doing, in the same way your robot will work on the top of the application. Your application is already there on the system. Your application is there already on the system. What our bot will do, our bot will open the application and will interact with the application like a human what is doing it. Okay. So in Blue Prism, one software bot is nothing but a one process. One bot is nothing but a one process. What is meant by process? group of business objects. Group of business objects. Okay, let me explain you in a simple manner in our words. Okay, let's say you have a requirement like this. Now let's say my client is going to open the web browser application, enter the customer name, then he is going to get the customer code. Okay, so after getting the customer code, he is going to open the window application, some Windows application they are using. They are going to search for the customer code and update customer details. Okay, then after that he is going to send an email to my customers. That's what the human is doing. So what the employee is going to do here is going to open the application first, and he will enter the customer name, and he is going to get the copy. Customer code is going to copy. After copy the code, is going to open another application or same application, whatever it is, and is going to search for that customer details, and is going to update some customer information and trying to send an email. Like this, human is doing. The same action I can perform by using my bot, my software bot. Okay, here this is one business object. This is one business object. So in this business object, what you are trying to do, you just open a web browser and enter customer name in the customer field, and it returns the code, and you have to read that code. That's what one business process, business object. Then here you are going to open the Windows application and enter that customer code, whatever you got, and update the customer details and send an email to the customer. This is another business object. Okay, so here there is no rule that it must be separate business object. It must be business object separate. You can combine both and keep it in a same business object. And if you feel that no, this is somewhat complex execution, I can keep it as a separate business object. This I can keep it as a separate business object. This I can keep it as a separate business object. So you can divide your work into different business objects. You can divide your work into different business objects and then combine as a process. It's nothing but a bot. It's nothing but a robot, software robot. Okay, so in the process, what we are going to do, we are going to group the business object. Business object 1, then this is business object 2, this is business object 3. So we are going to group our business objects. And so can we do all these activities on the single business object? Yes, we can do. But when we are working in the project, obviously we cannot say that one or two, not only one or two actions, hundreds of actions we have to automate. Let's say click start menu is one action. Click Internet Explorer is another action. Select Facebook is another action. Right. Enter email ID is another action. Enter password, another action. Click login button is another action. Like this, whatever human, as a human, when you want to log into the Facebook application, how you are going to do the actions, the same way you have to implement in the automation tool. Okay, and if you want to log out, what you will do, you'll just select this option and go to log out, right? And then you are trying to close the web browser. Like, how many actions I have done? At least 10 to 15 actions I have performed. In the real time, minimum hundreds. The actions, whatever you do the click, it is action. You do right click, it is action. You scroll it to third place, it is action. Again, select as action, it is a third place. Like this, whatever actions you are going to group it, that's a business object. That's a business object. But if you say your application navigation is vast, then what you can do is you can divide your automation work into different business objects, and you can group all these business objects. You call it as a process. You call it as a process. We call it as a bot. We call it as a software robot. We call it as a software robot. Fine. Now, the same thing I have explained here. So now enter customer name and get the customer code in first application. Then in second application, enter customer name, get mailing addresses. And in third application, you are going to enter customer name, code, and mailing address and get other information. Using not only multiple applications, some clients may be using single application to do all this work. Some clients may be using multiple applications to complete this entire process. Okay. So this work can be done by my call center workers or my software robots. Okay, so far human workforce is doing this work. Now my software robots are going to do this work. Okay, so in this example, call center workers or software robots interact with 3 different applications to place an order to the customer, Okay. This is an example for call center workers. It can be for any other, like it may be accounting workers, or it may be a manufacturing process or insurance or some other, any business process. This is the example we discussed regarding the call center application. Now, when we talk about these all are examples what we have seen so far. Now, Blue Prism syllabus mainly stands for around 6 places. One is studio, where object studio is used to build the objects, business objects. Process studio is used to build the processes. Okay, one process is nothing but a group of objects. One process is nothing but group of objects. Just now we discussed, right? Here is a process, and in a process what you will see, business objects you will see. One business object is nothing but one group of actions. Okay, group of actions you are going to perform. And then application modular, actions, release manager, credential manager, control room. So this all we will see in the Blue Prism. Okay, now we'll see first what is Object Studio. It's a process automation using the Blue Prism. First we will talk about the Object Studio. Object Studio, what it will do exactly is, by using the Object Studio you can define your process. Okay, so object model interactions between a person and a system. For example, you want to launch an application and you want to log in and you want to navigate and you want to read some information and write some information. So when you want to do these actions, then you are going to use the Object Studio. Okay, so just now I told how we can log into the application, Facebook application. So you have to launch your application. This is a web application, and you have to enter your URL, right? And after that, are you reading the data? No, I'm writing the data. Right now what I'm doing, I'm going to write the data, right? Now again, I'm going to click the button. Okay. Now I want to read what are the messages I have received. What are the messages I have received? I want to read it. So what you will try to do, you will go to your messages and you will try to read the data. So it's like when you want to go for interacting with the application, either you will click a button, like you will go for message or read or write. These are the actions, right? That's what Object Studio is going to do it here. So objects model interactions between a person and a system. For example, launching application, login, navigate, read and write information. This all can be work radius. And what about the Process Studio? A process is an act. So Process Studio is where the process logic are modeled. Like you are going to group all your business objects and you are going to execute that Process Studio. Now the same examples we can see: business object, business objects and main page. Page wise, you have the process. So inside of the process, you can see either one page or multiple pages. One page is nothing but one business object page. Okay. So inside of the business objects, you are going to define the pages. From the business objects, you are going to call the pages here. One page is nothing but a group of actions. Group of actions. As we are talking now, just 4-5 actions, you don't need this much of complex, right? So if you want to just launch the application and log in, one business object is enough, one page is enough, but procedure must be followed. Procedure must be followed. So you will create a business object and you must keep in the process, then you have to run the process. Okay, you have to run the process. Application module. Now we talked about two things. What are the two? One is Object Studio. What you will do in Object Studio, you are going to launch the application and log in and navigate and read the data, write the data. This all work you are going to do. So this Object Studio, I cannot directly run in the application. What you have to do, you must keep in the Process Studio. Process Studio is used to define the processes, to define the process. One process is nothing but either one business object or multiple business objects. One process is nothing but either one business object or multiple business objects. Okay, you are going to perform. Fine. So I'll just give you a simple example for our process. You can easily understand. Now let's say business object 1. Business object 1. So in the business object 1, what I'm trying to do is I am going to launch the application and then I'm going to enter username and I'm going to enter the password and click the login button. These are the 4 actions I'm going to perform in business object 1. Then go to business object 2. So in business object 2, what I'm going to do, I'm going to gather the new information, what we have received, and read the data into variables, write the data into Excel. So these are the 3 actions I'm going to perform in the business object 2. Then business object 3. So in business object 3, what I'm trying to do is, let's say, write the data into Excel and save the Excel in the system and do the FTP. You are transferred into server. Now what I want to do in the business object, send open email, take customer email ID, we are going to take the customer email ID and attachment, file attachment. We are going to do the file attachment and we are going to do the send email. This is very simple example, easy to understand. That's why I'm giving this. Okay. So there will be a lot of business application processes which are very lengthy. It's very simple. So I can do all these activities in a single business object. Not a problem. There is nothing that, okay, you must keep the login in one business object. You must do this work in another business. It doesn't mean like that. All the things you can put it in a single business object, in a single process, and you can perform all these actions. But when we are working in the project, when we say your business process is lengthy, there will be hundreds of actions we have to perform, right? So obviously you will be defining a business process and divide your work. For every work, separate business object you are going to define. So now what you will do is, when I run this process, first it will be executed, then it will be executed second, and then it will be executed. So in the process studio, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my business object first, business object 1. Then after completion of this, second business object will be executed. After completion of this, third business object will be executed. So that is what my business process. Okay. So whenever we want to automate any business application, first we have to identify what are the actions we have to perform. That you have to divide. Okay. These actions I'll do it in business object 1. This I'll do it in business object 2. This I'll do it in business object 3. This we call it as a pages. This 4 are nothing but actions. This we call it as a login page. We can call it as a login page. This we can call it as a gather information page. This we can call it as a email automation page. For easy understanding, we'll give a proper names. So the moment when I see that, okay, first business object, what it will do, it will just log into the application. Second business object, it will gather the information. Third business object, it will send an email to the customer. Okay. So inside of the business object, you can have either one page or multiple pages. You can have either one page or multiple pages. Depends on your logic, you can configure it. Okay. So these all pages you are going to combine in the process studio. You are going to combine in the process studio. So whenever you want to do the automation by using the Blue Prism, first what you have to do, you have to create a business object. Inside of the business object, what you will see? You will see the pages. Inside of the pages, what you will see? Actions. Okay. So now this is my business object. Inside of that one page is there, login page. What actions I am performing? 4 actions I am performing. First, launch the application. Second, enter the username. Third, password entry. And fourth, click the button. So here I am entering the data, right. Here I am going to enter the data, right. That's what I can show you here. Here is a read, write, navigate, code, wait. Like this we will see that. Anyway, we'll be talking about that in the tomorrow session. Okay. So in Blue Prism, whenever you want to perform any automation activity, first you should create a business object. Within that you will create at least one page, at least one action. Okay. Then after that you will go for create a process. In the process of studio, you will create a process, and this business object you have to call here. Call the business object. We are not going to do anything here. In process studio, we are not going to define any actions. We are going to call this business objects from the process studio. We are going to call this business objects from the process studio. As just now I told, in the process studio, I'm going to call business object 1, business object 2, business object 3, right? So that's how the Blue Prism is going to work. That's how the Blue Prism is going to work. So when we log into the Blue Prism application, it will be like this. This is the Blue Prism, the virtual workforce, right? And here we can see home page and studio. Here you can see how many studios are there. Process studio, object studio. In the object studio, you are going to define your business objects. Here, create or edit existing processes or business objects. Okay. If you select process, it will show you the list of processes. If you select the object, it will show you the list of business objects. Okay. Now, if you say this is my business object, it will show you how many times you have modified this business object. Okay. And right click, you will see that object studio here, right? You will see the object studio here, and these all are the actions. These all are the actions. This is what your page. Right click, you can go for see that. If you want to delete the page, you can delete. And if you want to rename the page, you can rename it. Login page, right? Press OK and save it. Right. So now, as just now I explained, whenever you want to automate any business application by using the business Blue Prism, first what you have to do, you have to create a business object. Where? Here. This is what your business object. How many pages are there? At least one page is required. You will see something called initialize and cleanup. We'll talk about this later. This is what actually we have created a page. Okay. So if you want to create a new page, you can create the new page, something test like this. Every page will have the actions. Start is one of the action. Navigate is one of the action. Write 1, writer 2, login button, navigate, and close. These all are the actions you are going to perform. These all are the actions we are going to perform by using left side. You can see that here. These all actions we have to understand when I have to use them. In Blue Prism, automation anywhere, any RPA tools, there won't be any coding, but we have to understand the business process and we have to use drag and drop like this. And you have to configure the properties. That's all. Very simple. Okay. In the very initial stage, it looks like complex, but when we do 2-3 examples, it will be very clear, very easy. Okay. So that's about today demo session, and we'll start now questions and answers. Tomorrow also we have a demo session. Tomorrow we are going to perform one Blue Prism Object Studio. We'll be working with the business object and actions and process studio. Then day after tomorrow also, it's like a continuation. 3 days we thought that we will have the demo sessions. Okay. For any queries regarding software, okay, you need to contact Mr. Naresh 709-333-9062. This is the number. You can interact with this number by calling or by sending a WhatsApp communication. Okay. And please drop your email ID and phone number in the chat window so that we will send this recorded session. Yes, a recorded session. Fine. So I'll give you some clarifications here. The course duration will be Blue Prism. It's 20 to 24 hours, including the project explanation, all. Then automation anywhere, it will be 20 hours. Okay. So some people say they wanted to learn only Blue Prism. No issue. There is no prerequisition. So if you want to learn a Blue Prism, only you can learn Blue Prism. There is no you must learn automation anywhere first and then learn the Blue Prism. There is no link. Both are automation tools. There might be requirement in future only for Blue Prism or only for automation anywhere. Okay. Some people wanted to learn both the things. Okay. So it's up to your wish, your requirement. You want to learn both the tools or you want to learn only one tool. You can interact. Mr. Naresh, you will explain. Software we will provide, that you don't worry. We are going to provide you the software, both Blue Prism as well as automation anywhere. We'll be providing the software as well as documentation and project explanation. If somebody want a placement, definitely we are ready to, but we will charge that you please talk with Mr. Naresh over the phone. I cannot explain those things in the recorded session right now. That what are the charges are there, that you please talk commercial things. Please talk with Mr. Naresh. Okay. And every session will be recorded and shared in your Gmail ID. That's why we are asking, please drop your Gmail ID and phone number. Please drop your Gmail ID and phone number. Every communication from our institute will be through the WhatsApp and email. Every communication, for example, today's session is delayed 10-15 minutes. The communication happened through the WhatsApp and as well as the through email. No question of phone calls. We never call to anyone and we will never intimate by the call. We will send a SMS, WhatsApp and email. Only 3 communications we are going to follow. One is SMS, another one is a WhatsApp, another one is a email. So if, for example, tomorrow we don't have session due to some my hectic schedule with the office. So obviously end of the day we will SMS and WhatsApp and email. 3 communication will intimate to everyone. So it means any doubts regarding, let's say you are doing some practice at the home and you got some doubt. So through the WhatsApp group, we'll have the WhatsApp group for every batch. Through that you are going to get solutions from me. I am also in the group. Okay, and the syllabus for Blue Prism, here is the syllabus. This is the high level design of the Blue Prism syllabus. This is detailed syllabus. When I go to high level, like introduction to Blue Prism and operational eligibility, that's what today's session, what we are discussing here. And Blue Prism, RPA tool, RPA and RDA concepts, and then Process Studio, Object Studio. 90% of our work will be here only. Next, process flow and circular paths, breaking points, looping, decision statements, collections, data items, cache management. Okay, so this all will be discussing tomorrow session. Tomorrow session will discuss more in depth. More in depth we are going to discuss. This is what the Blue Prism, like what exactly we'll be talking about this. We'll discuss tomorrow, and we'll do an example tomorrow, how to automate the Facebook application. It will be very easy, Blue Prism, and will be interact. Okay, thank you guys. Let's please enter your email ID and phone number. Yes, thank you. A lot of people has entered. It was around a crowd of 51 members today. And please drop your email ID and phone number. Will definitely. Yes, now the doubt session. Please enter in the chat window. I'll give the reply. Durga Chandra, is there automation anywhere certification available in the market? Durga, if you are working with any MNC company, like as I told, like Blue Prism is one of the company, is an implementation partner, right? If you are working in any of this company, you can do the automation certification. We will also help you. We can do it. Vinayak Kumar, are you covered with UiPath? UiPath, I'm not going to cover, Vinay, because I'm not the right person. I know the UiPath, but I don't have time. Some other trainer is going to be started. Yes, we provide, RTL Technologies is going to provide the UiPath also. Okay, but I'm not the person, some other. Certification cost, it will be around $65 each, $65. Your support for post training, Prashant, definitely we are ready to support Prashant resume preparation. And if you are going to talk about the placement also, we are ready to place, but we will charge. Placement charges will be different. You have to interact with Mr. Naresh. He will give you the complete details. Okay. Oh, Ram Mohan, what is the tool cost? Do we have evaluation version? Yes, exactly. We are tool cost is like that is different, right? We have the licensed software only. We got licensed where I am working for some company. I've got it. That don't worry about it. So that's we are using. What type of task we can automate in database? Bharati Raja, for example, you have some 20, 30 select statements which are built in. Every day you have to connect to the database and execute that select statement and fetch the data, and that data you want to write into some Excel or you want to send an email. Yes, that can be automated, Bharati Raja. If you are going to give the select statements to the automation tool, which will automatically connect to the database and extract the data or update whatever you want to do, that can be done. Durga, 100% this course is going to be helpful. After completion of my course, I'll share some documents which you have to read to complete your certification process. Chandrakant, QTP and Selenium both are testing tools. You are testing the application, right? Automation is different, testing is different. So if somebody develop one application, so to test that application performance or functionality, you are using some tools, right? Like QTP or Selenium, that. Okay. But this is not the testing of the application. This is to automate your business process. This is to automate your business process. It's automation. But some places there might be some similarity in the testing and automation, but very less. Automation is completely to automate our business process management system. Okay. Testing is completely to test your application. Nagendra, course fees details, you please contact Naresh. I'm not going to discuss any commercial activities in the session. Thank you. You have the number, right? 709-333-9062, please. Is the interview question would be 100%, Durga. That's a part of our course. We are going to provide all interview questions. When would be the live session would be going to schedule? Durga, this is the live session only. This is first class. This is first hour. As I told, 22 hours we are going to take to complete the Blue Prism session. This is the first hour. This is the first hour. Tomorrow will be the second hour. Day after tomorrow will be the third hour. Okay. So it's almost like today we started the course. We started the course. Can automation anywhere Blue Prism use it for? Yes, exactly, Prashant. It can be used for SAP as well as for Oracle, but there are some patches we have to apply. There are patches we have to apply. Okay. Saturday, Sundays also. Saturday will be working day, Prashant. Will be working on Saturday. Sunday will be holiday. Sunday will be holiday. Manikanta, I'm working as a VBA developer. Can this helpful to RPA? 100% Manikanta, as you are working Visual Basic, you will be preferred for Windows applications. You will be always on demand when there are some applications which are used by the Microsoft company. Any client is using Microsoft applications, obviously your profile will be in the front place. Okay. Any session for ASW, I'm not clear. I'm not clear what exactly ASW, Shankar. Software installation, everything. Amazon Web Services, is it AWS? Definitely, Shankar, I'll show you how to install in installation process. Definitely is a part of our session. There will be one session. It won't take more than 15-20 minutes, not more than. Definitely, we will share to the people who has enrolled for the course how to install the software in the local machine, how to install the software in Amazon Web Services, in the cloud. Ratan Kumar, I have 5 years of experience in IT. How to move on robotic process? 100% Ratan Kumar, whatever the IT experience you have, that will be always helpful to work with our RPA. Once you learn the tools, you have to put it as an automation experience. There you will say that what are the applications you have automated. Most of the times, whatever your previous experience is there, those things you are going to do the automation. Chandrakant, when tools you are providing and do those are trial? If yes, how many days? And Blue Prism tool also provide. Chandrakant, automation anywhere and Blue Prism. Blue Prism is a permanent. It's a licensed version which I am providing. Okay, that don't worry. And automation anywhere, it will be 14 days. After 14 days, you have to use the cloud or something. We have alternative. We have alternative how to do that. Okay, continuously, definitely will do that. Can we start the automation anywhere first? Prashant, please talk with Mr. Naresh. He is having the complete plan. What are the batches? Not the only this batches, other batches are going on. Please talk with Naresh. He will give you the complete guidance. Nagendra, will configuration for different applications? Yes, definitely. We'll be talking with Windows application, web applications, or browser applications also. Mitu Behra, once training is over, we'll be able to access tool 100%. We will install on your system only, right? So you can always do that, and we will tell you how to install the application also. That will be one session installation process. At any time you can use. That's not a problem. Don't worry about the tools. That will be accessible always. Naresh, can you parallelly start the course automation anywhere and Blue Prism? Naresh, that's what I told just now. That's please contact Mr. Naresh. He will give you the complete guidance because other batches are running. Please that. GN Rao, can you send me your number? GN Rao, please talk with Naresh. Definitely, he will give you the details about me. And please drop your number to Mr. Naresh. When I get a time, I will definitely call you and discuss. Shankar, you have 11 years experience in testing. RPA is useful for me. Yes, Shankar, if you are a good and RPA automation strong, and you can go ahead as a RPA architect. As now the market is just started, right? Automation. So once you start your journey in automation today, after a couple of years, you will be in a good position in the automations. Any ETL tools, it's possible to automate 100% extractions, everything. whatever human is doing at the application, that can be done. Manikanda is not mandatory. Certification is not mandatory to work with MNC as a RPA developer. So we can just go ahead, learn the tools and go ahead. Now I can show you how the market is going on now. If you go to the web applications like RPA Developer, so there are a lot of around 122 jobs will see that 0 to 2 years experience, RPA developer, right? Robotic automation, Blue Prism, UiPath, this all like, right? So that's all we'll be discussing. Some basic things are required, that also will be discussing like MSX. Okay, fine. Thank you, guys. Let's meet tomorrow on the same meeting ID, sharp at 6 to 7 a.m. Today it's got delayed around 15 minutes and we continued up to 7:30. Tomorrow also is a demo session, and day after tomorrow also demo session, and Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we'll start the regular sessions. So we'll give the permission to who has going to top up. Okay. Thank you. Please drop your email ID, and any doubts are there, please talk with Mr. Naresh. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your valuable time, and have a nice day. Bye. Tomorrow we'll do an example. We'll take one example how to automate by using the Blue Prism, so that you will have the idea. Thank you. Yes, Shankar will explain that. Thank you.